Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. This is my second night playing Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. Previously on Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment, I was investigating the murder of this whaler named Black Peter, and I had just taken in a child into custody at Scotland Yard, and I went over to interrogate him. The interrogation mostly consisted of me mocking his clothing.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Well, at least the kid's not literally chained up, so that's good. It looks like that would be an option, though, if such a thing were required. So what? John Nelligan seems not to be a usual thief. What is his role in all that? Watson will be glad to help with preparations. Okay. I need to go talk to my dear Dr. Watson. Go back to Baker Street.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
I like how Scotland Yard just kind of gives you free reign to do this random garbage. Ah, I have a John Nelligan. Nelligan is approximately 19 years old. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish. Despite undertaking such manual work for considerable time, Nelligan remains physically weak. Alright. So what is John Nelligan's role in all of this? Is the question that we're asking. Oh yeah, I was gonna search for Dawson. First electric railway, from Dar Dawson, my friend and partner.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
The Strand. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund bankrupt. Nelligan missing. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio, and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Alright, I guess I'll ask him about it.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Back to Scotland Yard.
Locked. I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
Such stank.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship's logs. Okay.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
Oh, yeah.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
One harpoon, please.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of
what's all
lancing
this
a
then?
pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Great. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Alright.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall
Sherlock
requires
Holmes, a
either
machine for
exceptional
pigs.
strength and training
Yep.
or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right.
I'm
But
not
before
sure.
we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
I feel like this doesn't necessarily prove anything. Like, I was only able to hit my mark on the 4th try, so therefore, it's impossible that someone could have done it on 1 try. Okay, what do I do now? Ship's log, put some land connection. Okay, so where do I find the ship's log? I don't know.
My archive. I can
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
I'm not really sure where to go to find the ship's logs, which is what it says I need to look at next. Back at Woodmansley. Ship's logs. Ah, here we go.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Okay.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Okay. Gotta go find some sailors.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Wiggins. He should be somewhere at Baker Street. Okay.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization.
Our young
I'll
Wiggins.
summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Young Wiggins. Oh, who's a puppy?
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell,
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking. These are the suspect's belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Old scar. Handkerchief with crested tip. Plant remains. Gardener's hands.
That's all for now.
Alright. Cool.
Ah, the crested tit handkerchief.
Yep.
I know all I need to know about this guy now.
Everything is falling into place.
These boots match the footprints exactly. Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Alright, do I need to go talk to him again? Liam?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
He's got you
I
there.
don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
That's all for now.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Beats me, kid. He went there to get his tools, huh?
Rum, a sailor's drink.
Oh yeah. And the tools are missing from here.
This place is not covered with dust. An object was taken from here. It was larger.
Tool. Okay.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Alright, his tools. He had a box is missing there.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
I think there's really anything I can do here. Let's go back to Baker Street, I guess.
This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always... My archive.
A new suspect, but this one refuses to talk. This case is more interesting than I first imagined.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Alright, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Scotland Yard.
Points at his archive. That's his archive.
Yep, that's his archive.
My
Map
archive.
of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Wasn't that one kid Wiggum's going to, like, round up some sailors for me to talk to or something?
Mr. Holmes? At your service, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes?
Never been down here before, I don't think. Interesting.
Holmes just barging into every room.
Yeah, that's Holmes for you.
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
Not really. It's probably this other guy.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Mr. Holmes?
Okay. So what? It was either a lucky throw or a feat of strength. Cover the notebook. Okay. Well, I've exhausted all my clues. Alright.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing.
Okay, what now? Back to Woodman's Lee, I guess. I don't know.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
So you have nothing else to say to me. Neither of my suspects have anything else to say to me. I've looked at all of my evidence. I don't have any... I don't have any, like, notification things on any of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
This place is not covered. An object was taken.
It's a toolbox, probably.
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Allegedly, our friend...
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone... Rum.
Allegedly... He went in here to get tools. The box is missing. So where did he put them? Can't talk to the old lady, the widow.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Can't go into any of these buildings except for the shed where the murder took place. So I think I have done everything I can here. At this point, I'm kind of going in circles. I think I'm out of deductions. I've tried everything on everything. So that's not going to get me anywhere. Yeah. I don't know.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Oh. Pff, okay. I guess I'm supposed to go to the analysis table. How about that?
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Check.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay. So, blue goes first. And then 2 other ones, and then orange. Okay, so there's 2 oranges, and obviously those are going third and fourth. Colorless goes last. So... But there are 2 colorless. So the one that goes after blue is green and colorless, but I don't know in what order. Well, let's just do green. And colorless. And then orange, orange.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Okay, hold on. So... seven, but there are only... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 on that sequence.
First condition. All 7 reagents should be used. Second condition. Orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay, so colorless has to... Is it that colorless can only go after blue, or or sorry, colorless can only go after orange? In that case, it would be blue... blue... green... orange... orange...
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Let's see. Okay.
First condition. All 7 reagents should be used. Second condition. Orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Third one in the sequence after the blue.
First condition. All 7 reagents should be used. Second condition. Orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay. Let's start with green.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Clear must come after orange, I think.
Right. I hadn't even put in clear yet, because I put in 2 oranges. Or does it mean that it has to come immediately after an orange? So, like, I'd have to go orange, clear, maybe.
Every time you put in an orange, you must put a clear one after.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. So, blue, blue, green, orange, clear, orange, clear.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Didn't like that. Oh, orange has to come third after blue. So I have to use blue again. So it has to be... blue... the third... orange?
First condition. Or second condition. Orange third.
Okay. Orange is the third in the sequence after blue. So I could do blue, green, orange. And then clear.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
What am I doing wrong here? Okay.
Your orange was only the second after. It needs to be third after.
Right. Okay. But then clear has to come after orange. And then... Alright. So we'll start with blue. So my first 3 have to be blue, blue, green, if I want my third one to be orange. And then, because clear can only come after orange. Oh no, sorry. 2 has to be the third in the sequence after blue. So blue, something else, orange. So if it's blue, blue, green, orange, that's the third. Oh, and then I can use orange again, right? Because then that's the third in the sequence after the second blue. Oh, but then I need to put in, but clear has to go after orange. I don't know. Blue. Blue. Green. Okay. So now blue, and then I had two other ones, and then an orange. And I think...
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
The two blues and green come in first, but you have the order of them wrong.
So what is it? Blue, green, blue? Then orange. Then clear.
Done. Now I can proceed further. Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a
Very
little
nice.
light upon the
Now you
mystery.
can serve the Kool-Aid to the soccer team.
Yep.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
I did what you asked and hid them well.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked, and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Okay. Time to go back to Woodman's Lee, I guess. So where are the garden tools kept? At Woodman's Lee.
Locked.
Surely, the widow can help me.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam. Let's see what could be hidden here.
Here it is, the small wooden box.
Let us see what is in this box.
Rotate the lock cylinders to form a complete line. Please note that some lines are deceptive. Okay. I see.
I can't believe this man only secures his tools in a puzzle box.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Watch out, there might be a demon in that box.
Bunch of letters.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram.
Mummy pops out.
Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Huh. Liam, my dear, you have been so good to me all the time that I have known you. I cannot describe these feelings, but I suppose that they are sinful and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. I thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. In his divine will, and thus my husband is the cross that I must bear. He makes my life a living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. Alright. Fascinating. Interesting stuff, Miss Carey.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Mm-hmm. True that. Time heals all wounds, Mrs. Carey.
Mr. Holmes, we found the list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see. This is interesting.
Wiggins.
Let us review the other sailors now.
Wiggins.
This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch.
Okay.
Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Case closed.
Case closed.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Here is your
Wiggins.
reward. 2 guineas.
Thanks, Wiggins.
Wow,
you,
Wiggins
sir.
is pretty judgmental.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
Okay. Oh, this is Watson's room. Hell yeah. I don't think a sailor would wear this top hat.
I hope you arrive and all the sailors are wearing top hats.
That would be good.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
No one will suspect me.
Wow, I'm glad you unlocked the special summer SR Sailor Holmes.
Yep.
Wow, Holmes knows exactly what a working class man looks like, a flawless disguise.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
I've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Follow Patrick Cairns' facial expressions to understand his moves. Push, restrain, idle, and plan your counter strategy.
LOL.
Pay attention to your stamina. Okay.
What even is this? Stamina. Stamina. Was there also a press X to push to in Amnesia 3?
This is like kind of a goofy thing.
Maybe the alien puzzle circuit was easier to parse than this.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money.
All the other sailors
problem
just
with
playing
that.
cup in the background, I guess. I like how his restrained face looks like he's remembering all of the crimes he's ever committed.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Got him.
Yellow nails.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
Come back later, when you can use your arms again.
So what, am I supposed to beat him? Like, more than once, or...? Parents, an experienced harpooner currently facing unemployment and poverty. He can be found most often in the sea, which a public house deemed popular by the sailors whom he arm wrestles for money. Like many of his kind, he is a heavy smoker, indicated by his yellowed fingernails. Okay. I guess I just need to beat him, like, multiple times.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all... Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money,
Lord.
eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she had foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
Dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. And those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Here it is.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Alright, where to now?
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Mr. Holmes?
Where to next?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
someone rum?
Okay.
Dundee.
Leave me alone, please.
All right. Okay, I guess it's back to Baker Street.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
Just look at this woman through the telescope.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire. My analysis table. It is useful for my work. My archive. I can always consult with it, if needed. This is where I keep...
Okay. Do I... Yeah, so if the pouch proves guilt, then I have to not consider Hurley's motive, I guess. Also, he's a skilled man. Oh, okay. So Hurtley is guilty, but it was just a lucky throw, not a feat of strength, huh? Liam Hurtley murdered Peter Carey, but it was jealousy and his love for Carey's wife. Dem Hurtley. Liam Hurtley has been found guilty of the murder of Peter Carey. He must be punished by law in all its rigor. Absolve Hurtley. Liam Hurtley's mind was clouded by his love for Judith Carey, Peter's wife. This murder was a crime of passion, under emotional duress. Nevertheless, he must answer to the law for what he's done.
Video games are about choices.
um, I mean, in both cases, you make him face... I mean, Peter Carey was kind of a jerk, right? And if Hurtley actually did care about Carey's wife, then you can kind of understand, like, why he would have done what he did. So yeah, sure. I'll absolve him, whatever that means. Yeah, sure.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, it was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof.
Calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Over here, but it was self-defense against an armed and furious drunken sailor. Murder was a crime of passion. Hurtley's mind was clouded by his love for Judith Carey, Peter's wife. You have decided to ease his sentence. What? So apparently, old Sherlock has the ability to determine sentencing? Alright, I'll allow it. Sure, why not?
Sherlock is the judge, jury, and executioner.
Seems like it.
It looks like it's possible to come to the wrong conclusion.
I guess.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We are about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men. A band of idealistic
Oh yeah,
terrorists.
apparently there were like 5
Sherlock,
different conclusions
do
for the
please think
case you
about it.
finished.
They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further...
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
Alright. There are 5 different conclusions to that case I finished, huh? Well, hopefully I got the right guy. Cool. Well, I think that's all I'm gonna play for tonight, but, thank you for joining me. Imagination talent helps you visualize objects and events, useful in limited situations. Okay. Yeah. I'll be back with more Sherlock Holmes at a later time.